So 31 and 32 are your last questions. My guess is that lots of people have questions about 32. So before I start, I just want to say that if there are any other questions that you have, put them in the streaming section of the classroom, and I will do my best to answer those, either via YouTube or with pictures, or with just words if that's the best way. So we will do our best. So 32. You've got a right triangle, and there's a couple medians in here, right? So we know that this side and this side are the same, are congruent, and these two are the congruent. And here's our right angle. And this is triangle ABC. Here is E, here is F. All right, so we've got three right triangles, actually. The large one, this one down here, and then this one up here. And so if this, let's say that this is X from C to F, then this will also be X from B to F. And let's say that A to E is Y, so is E to C. Since they're congruent. We also have other information. AF equals square root of 41, and BE equals 2 square root of 26. So let's take a look at one of the smaller triangles. For instance, this one here. We have some information about the sides. So let's maybe work on our Pythagorean theorem here. So y squared plus 2x squared equals EB squared. So that would be 2 square root of 26 squared. So y squared plus, that'll be 4x squared equals, let's see, 2 times 2 is 4 times 26, so that's 104. Then we can do the same thing with this triangle here. So we've got 2y quantity squared plus an x squared equals, the length of AF is square root of 41 squared. So that's 4y squared plus x squared equals, the square root of 41 squared is 41. So we have two equations and two unknowns. Now this becomes purely an algebra problem. So we can look at y squared plus 4x squared equals 104, and 4y squared plus x squared equals 41. I think I'm going to multiply this bottom equation by -4 so that the x squareds will subtract away. So multiply this guy by a -4. So it becomes -16y squared minus 4x squared equals -164. And this one stays the same. So we've got y squared plus 4x squared equals 104. All right, we'll combine those two. So this is -15y squared. X squareds have now subtracted, and that gives us -60. Divide by -15. So y squared equals 4. It's an equals. So y equals plus or minus 2, but we're talking about distances, so we'll take the positive. And now we'll solve for x. So here we go. Solving for x, let's take this equation. 4 times 2 squared plus x squared equals 41. So 4 times 4 is 16, plus x squared equals 41. X squared equals 25. That's convenient, so x is 5. All right, so the question is actually asking us to find AB, but now we can say we know these sides here. So 2y will make this side 4, and this side here is 2x, so this side is 10. Now we've got a Pythagorean theorem problem again. So 4 squared plus 10 squared equals AB squared. 16 plus 100 equals AB squared, 116. And take your square root, so that gives us AB is equal to, I'm going to come up here, AB equals the square root of 116, which it does simplify a little bit further. So 2 square root of 29. There we go. So that was 32. That was the long, hard algebra problem. All right, 33, our last problem for this review. I hope that you feel like you understand things real well now. The altitude to the hypotenuse of a right triangle. Right triangle. The altitude to the hypotenuse. We've seen this guy before. This is our old friend. And it divides the hypotenuse into the ratio of 4 to 1. So when we're dealing with ratios, that's like saying 4x and 1x. What is the ratio of the legs of the triangle? So we want to know what's the ratio of these guys here. That's an interesting question. We've got information on just the hypotenuse, but we can split it into the 3 triangles, remember? So we've got this guy right here. Let's call this A and this B. And so we can say that, we can talk about A. There's the small and the large. So if we're looking at the small and the large, here's the large. And let's let x equal 1 for now. So that means that the hypotenuse is 5. And then we know that the smaller leg is A. And then if we're looking at the small triangle, oops, I forgot my right angle. Looking at the smaller triangle, we have our hypotenuse there is A and the shorter leg is 1. So we can set up our proportion. 5 is to A as A is to 1. So A squared equals 5. Let's do the same thing for B. So we'll take the medium and the large. All right, here's the large again. And the hypotenuse is 5. And for the large, we've got now the longer leg, so that's B. For the medium, the hypotenuse is B. The longer leg is 4. So 5 is to B as B is to 4. So B squared equals 20. All right. Now we can talk about the legs. So A squared to B squared equals 5 to 20. And then we can take the square root of everything. Well, actually, let's reduce our fraction first. That'll be 1/4. And then we can take the square root of everything. So we can do that. So A to B equals 1 to 2. That was kind of fancy, wasn't it? All right. Well, again, let me know if you have any questions, and I will be happy to address those as best I can. And your test will be sent to you via email the morning that you are taking it. And so I will see you later.